दूसरे राष्ट्रीय उद्यानों में भी बाघ आरक्षित है।
This boy can't hear the lesson, but he's too shy to tell the teacher. He's behind in his studies, and without an operation on his ear, he will probably go completely deaf. But in rural India, where the poor have little access to medical facilities, there is a unique way of providing treatment to the sick and hope to the disabled. It's based on the simple concept that if the people cannot reach a hospital, then the hospital should reach the people. This is the story of a train, a very special train, the Lifeline Express.
The train is known as Jadoo Ka Gadi, the magic train. Hundreds of poor people who are disabled who've never seen a doctor. They come, but they're so trusting. They come with a little packet of vegetables or flowers and put it in your hand. Yours is a magic train. We have come for magic. Make the miracle.
The Lifeline Express was the world's first hospital on rails. With 2 fully equipped operating theatres, treatment rooms, offices and accommodation for the Lifeline crew, it uses 70,000 kilometres of Indian railway track to reach the remotest corners of the country, bringing free treatment and state-of-the-art surgery to India's rural poor. The train was the brainchild of Sir John Wilson, a British campaigner for the disabled who founded Impact India, the charity which runs the train. With the help of the railways and the government, volunteers and sponsorship, to date it has treated over 500,000 rural people all over India. Each mission is a complex exercise in planning and diplomacy. The Lifeline Express has its own permanent 6-man staff, and they travel with the train and they live on the train. The leader of the Lifeline team is Colonel Vishwan, retired. And the location for this Lifeline project and home to the Colonel for the next month is the small district town of Mandsaur in Madhya Pradesh, slap in the middle of India. And soon, from all over the country, volunteer doctors and surgeons will converge on Mandsaur. Over the next 4 weeks, they'll perform hundreds of operations and thousands of health screenings right here on platform number 2, and it's all for free. The Lifeline Express will change some lives forever, and it all begins with a promotion, country style.
रेलवे स्टेशन पर रेल आएगा, फ्री इलाज लेगा.
In villages around the district, the first priority is to make people aware of the train and get the message out. After a 2-day journey, the Lifeline Express slipped into Mandsaur station almost unnoticed. different specialist team of volunteer surgeons will travel here to operate. First ears, then the polio surgeries, in the third week cleft lips, and finally the eye surgeries. And it's all taking place on a train in a station in the middle of India. Padlia Lal Mua is typical of over 200 scattered villages in the district, just 50 kilometers from the town of Mansoor. 11-year-old Dasrat is the third child of an extended farming family and is going deaf. The family own their own house and a field, some goats and a bullock, and though it's a hard life, they're not on the breadline. Dasrat's hearing started to deteriorate after a series of infections, since when his father says nothing seems to have worked.
कान उनका बहुत इलाज करा रहे, उनको सुनाते वो पाक भरा जाते, पक जाते अंदर से, तो उनको सुनाता नहीं, ये क्या मिस्टेक हो गई, अंदर से है, क्या बीमारी है, इनकी जांच कराते जा रहे। अभी हमने सुना कि मतलब गाड़ी आ रही, तो अपने को उसमें इलाज का है तो कराएं।
With a referral from his doctor, Dasrat heads for the Lifeline Express. It's just an hour and a half by bike across country, but it may be the journey of a lifetime. Sanskar Gardens, normally a marriage venue, has become a registration and screening centre for the train. Dasrat is one of over 1,000 would-be patients with ear, nose and throat problems who have turned up on this, the first day of the Lifeline mission. But only a minority can ever be operated on. And that decision is made by the volunteer surgeons who have come from Delhi. They will screen every one of the hopeful patients, but there are just 4 days of surgeries, so the odds are not in Dasrat's favour.
कौन सी चीज आ रही है बस ये वाली चीज थी पीछे वाली चीज थी बता दी उसने कौन से कान में आ रही है बस इस वाले कान में आ रही है इसके ये दाएं कान में इतना छोटा इतना छेद है और इस वाले कान के अंदर इतना बड़ा छेद है ठीक है ना दोनों कान के पर्दों में से छेद है इसका ऑपरेशन होगा कान का मेरी बात नहीं मान के देखिए इतना बड़ा छेद है इसके पर्दे के अंदर ये छेद जब होता है जहाँ अगर आपके घर में ऐसे कोई दीवार में छेद रखा है उससे क्या होगा बाहर से लोग अंदर जाएंगे बाहर जाएंगे तो आपके घर के अंदर घुसेंगे ऐसे ही जब कान के पर्दे में इतना बड़ा छेद रखा है तो जितना भी इंफेक्शन है जितना भी बाहर का गंद है सब इसके दिमाग में जा रहा है भर्ती अभी होना पड़ेगा फिर शाम को जांचें होंगी और कल ऑपरेशन होगा ठीक है इसको भर्ती करवा दो और हो जाएगा ठीक
After the 10-minute examination, Dasrat has been approved for surgery on one of his ears. He now has a file, a number, and the operation is fixed for the following day. He'll stay here overnight in the makeshift ward in the marriage hall, and in the morning, he'll get his operation. On board the Lifeline Express, the team of top Delhi surgeons and anaesthetists are waiting for their first patients. Dr. Vikas Malhotra and the team are aiming to operate on a lot of patients today, but he's quietly confident.
We are planning to do at least 20-25 cases today. So this is the first time that I am here on the Lifeline Express, but three of our colleagues here from anesthesia, they've been here. This is the third camp that they are on, and they've been coming on this train earlier, and it's always been a wonderful experience. These are world-class facilities. The facilities in the train are probably better than some of the operating theatres we've got in medical colleges at some places. So this is state of art. This is a surgeon's dream.
By the time Dasrat reaches the train, the temperature on the platform is already over 40 degrees. The heat is building up to the summer monsoon rains. Perhaps it's nerves or the medicine or the heat, but Dasrat is feeling sick.
Every infection tended to take down the hearing further, to the level that in some cases even the speech that the person has acquired over the past so many years of life, that tends to retrogress. So the person can lose the knowledge of how to speak.
On the train, the ear operations have begun. The most complicated procedures are first on the list, and Dr. Vikash and his surgical team have set a target for the week.
All goes well, God willing, we should be able to touch 100. 100 is the limit that we'll be able to tackle with this number of people in this situation. And I think that's a very large number.
At 4 p.m. after waiting on the Burnin station platform for 5 hours, Dasrat's feeling much better. Today he's going to have one eardrum repaired and the other one will have to wait until he's a little older.
Through this microscope I can see a small hole in his eardrum. What we'll be doing is just putting some chemical along the margins of this hole and sealing it with a paper patch.
Russia, the hearing level in that year will be restored to normal levels. The education should not suffer. So he should be able to go through his school, and when he's 14, maybe we'll come back and do the surgery, or he can come down to us and we can do the other year.
The operation was successful, and the prognosis is that in just a few weeks, Dasrat's hearing will be nearly back to normal.
बात तो ठीक हो यार, बात तो फायदा होगा, उनका भी खुशी रहेगा कि हमारा साथ बढ़िया हो गया.
It was a typical day for all departments of the Lifeline Express. Dasrat's surgery was just one of 25 ear operations today, and the surgical team are confident of beating their target before the handover at the end of the week. But bad news is coming in on the TV. Events in the bordering state of Rajasthan are about to cause a major problem that could upset all of their plans. A minority caste are demanding tribal status and calling for better education and better jobs. They're known as the Gujars, and they've blockaded the main railway line between Bombay and Delhi. The disruption has caused the cancellation of hundreds of trains, including all the doctors' tickets from Delhi. It's a major headache for the Colonel, and it's put the polio surgeries planned for next week in jeopardy.
The system from Delhi to Bombay or along this route is totally collapsed. No trains. The doctors who left day before yesterday, you remember, they are still at Bhopal.
Although the trains are still running on the branch line through Mansoor, With the main line closed and the surgeon stuck in Delhi, the polio operations cannot begin. Dasrat was lucky that his passage through the Lifeline system went according to plan. And by the end of the first week, the surgeons had almost reached their target of 100. But with the rail network in chaos, no one knows what's going to happen next week. Today, according to the astrologers, is the most auspicious day for a marriage. Tonight, in every village across Mandsaur district, there's a wedding. Brides on horses, grooms on tractors. It's a time when the whole community shares in the celebrations. Whatever your caste or religion, it's a matter of honor to ensure that your daughters are married off. Marriages in rural India are traditional, arranged early, and normally with a dowry attached. But for those who are poor and disabled, the prospects of marriage are far from good. "40 kilometers south of Mandsaur town lies the village of Daloda. Like many places in India, it bears the legacy of the polio virus. Once upon a time, almost a third of all polio cases in the world were in India. But today that's been reduced to just a few hundred new cases a year, and soon it will be eliminated completely. Sapna is 17 years old and she lives with her family here in Daloda. But since the age of 2, she's been disabled as a result of polio.
मैं सपना बंजारा हूँ, मेरे पिता का नाम रामराम जी है, मैं दरोदा में रहती हूँ, रोज स्कूल पढ़ने जाती हूँ, 10 साल हो गए पढ़ते पढ़ते मुझे, और छोटे छोटे भाई बहन हैं मैं से भी, और मम्मी है पापा है।
ऐसा क्या है, ये तो क्या 2 साल की थी और ये इसका जैसे इंजेक्शन लगवा था ना, इसलिए पोलियो में हो गया इसका, पोलियो में हुआ है। क्या लगा कि इसको देवी देवता लेके गए, माता जी वगैरह, ये भादो माता लेके गए, इलाज भी करवाया, कुछ नहीं हुआ इसको। दुख तो होता है ना, बड़ी लड़की है, दुख भी नहीं होता है, चलती तो अपनों को ठेस पहुंचती ना।
अच्छी चलने लग जाऊंगी अगर ऑपरेशन हो गया। मेरे को विश्वास है कि मैं थोड़ी बहुत अच्छी हो सकती हूँ, मैं अच्छी चलने लग जाऊंगी, हाथ छूट के। हाँ, स्कूल जाते तो बहुत परेशानी है, पढ़ाई में अच्छी रही, अच्छा
Between the chai shop and the tractor repair shop lives Bharat, a 6-year-old boy who cannot walk at all. His family is poor, his father unemployed.
ये 7 महीने में हो गया, 7 मासा बोलते हैं उसको, इस वजह से कमजोर होगा। इतना सा बड़ा था, ये मेडिकल चेकअप करवाया, 750 ग्राम का था। धीरे धीरे तो बेड था, फिर नीचे गिर जाता, फिर बेड था, नीचे गिर जाता था। हम समझे ही नहीं कि भाई हाथ पाँव, अब ये मालूम ही नहीं थी कि हमने कि भाई इसके हाथ पाँव काम नहीं कर रहा, पता ही नहीं था। तो इसकी वजह से कि थोड़ी बॉडी कमजोर हो गई और थोड़ा खड़ा रहना चालू हो गया। ये बिना देते थे ना तो खड़ा रह पाता था, और बाकी ये खोल दो तो वापस बैलेंस नहीं बनता इसका, तो अब वो खड़ा हो ही नहीं पाता।
Treatment on the Lifeline Express may be Bharat's only chance to see a top specialist and to get an operation. So his father is taking him on the train to see Mr. Meena, an orthotist and prosthetic specialist in Mansour. His recommendation could help Bharat see the polio surgeon for a screening, but they don't know what, if anything, an operation might achieve, or if there's any hope of a cure.
चल 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 मेरे संग संग चल मेरी दुनिया में तू चल तेरे सपने पूरे होंगे वहाँ तू साथ हमारे चल.
At Sadskar Gardens, the polio screenings have begun. It's an opportunity for a new prognosis from a top surgeon like Professor Agarwal from Lucknow Medical College. He's an esteemed pediatric specialist and teacher and the leader of the team, and he's the first of the polio doctors to make it through the blockade.
And this is the hamstring contact operation has.
Over the next 2 days, he'll screen hundreds of disabled people to see who is suitable for orthopedic surgery and who is not. Bharat has come to Mr. Meena for a screening. He's hoping to get a referral letter from him for the Lifeline train, but it's turning out to be much more intense than expected.
खुद करता है जल्दी वगैरह खोलने से मतलब सो के खोलता है पाँच साल यदि आप एक्सरसाइज करोगे ना 100% ये बच्चा श्योर हो सकेगा, बिल्कुल दौड़ेगा चलेगा. अब उनको प्रॉब्लम नहीं है उसकी उसको जल्दी नहीं एक्सरसाइज कर देंगे. इस नाइट ऑपरेशन करवाना. यस वेरी गुड. ओके ओके ओके.
By midday, Sapna has been accepted for an operation by Professor Agarwal, but there are conditions. She'll be in theatre tomorrow only if all the doctors arrive in Mansour, and the professor is insisting that his patients are moved from the converted marriage hall to the district hospital. And after a day of screenings, he's called a meeting with the organisers on the train.
अरे बात तो समझो भाई, ये काम एक हफ्ते पहले डिसाइड हो जाना चाहिए था कि पोस्ट ऑप में मरीज कहाँ रहेंगे.
मतलब कहते हैं पूरा बेड भरे, पूरा फ्लोर लगा हुआ है जिस जहाँ पे मतलब सर्जरी, ऑर्थोपेडिक और पीडियाट्रिक और मतलब मेल मेडिकल, फीमेल मेडिकल पूरा भरा हुआ है.
पोस्ट ऑप में अगर कोई मेडिकल अफसर नर्स स्टाफ नहीं रही, कुछ उसको हो गया तो आई एम नॉट रिस्पॉन्सिबल. You are the responsible person and you are the responsible. You understand my point? I don't share any responsibility on this issue. Colonel has asked me to come from Lucknow. You know how much travel period is? 28 hours I have traveled by train. Only for one cause. To do good work for the poor people.
The district hospital in Mansour serves almost 1 million people. It's short of beds and short of doctors. But somehow the Lifeline Express works its magic, and they managed to clear a ward for Professor Agarwal's polio patients. With a referral letter from the physio, Bharat's hoping for an operation that will make him walk.
अगर ये हिंदी लेटर होता तो इसका एक तरफ होता. इसकी फिजियोथेरेपी होगी ना, कसरत होगी. इसकी कसरत के लिए मिस्टर मीना है यही पास में बैठे, उनके पास ले जाइए, वो कराएंगे. बच्चे को खा लीजिए. ऑपरेशन इसमें ऑपरेशन नहीं होगा. ऑपरेशन के लिए जो पोलियो से ग्रस्त बच्चे हैं उनको हम चयनित कर रहे हैं. ये पोलियो नहीं है, इसके अंदर मस्तिष्क में कमी है जिसकी वजह से इसके दोनों पैर और हाथ कमजोर हो. ऐसे केस में ऑपरेशन की में सफलता बहुत कम है. इसको लिखो व्हील चेयर।
नहीं
I am sorry. I have nothing to offer. The point is, it's a God's will. And if it is a God's will, we can't stop it. So don't keep attachment. The emotions are very disturbing. Just make him happy as far as possible.
Bharat has finally been diagnosed properly with myopathy, not polio. Under a harsh regime of physiotherapy in the coming years, he may yet gain the ability to walk. But it will take a miracle to cure the boy. The Gujar protest has taken a violent turn. The main railway track remains blocked by 60,000 angry protesters, and with so many trains cancelled, the government has sent in the troops. So far, 39 people have been killed, and it doesn't bode well for the Lifeline train. "24 hours after screening and despite the protests, Sapna is in pre-op on the Lifeline Express. By bringing the doctors on lengthy detours and avoiding the rail blockade, the Colonel has managed to scramble a skeleton team for Dr. Agarwal. So now he can operate on the village girl from Deloda, for whom the stakes could hardly be higher.
घबरा रही थी ना, फिर डॉक्टर अंकल ने आके बोला घबराओ मत, बस तुम्हारे हाथ में बस बारीक सी सुई लगाएंगे, छोटी सी यहाँ, और 2 कमर पे सुई लगाएंगे, बस कुछ भी मालूम नहीं पड़ेगा।
Professor Agarwal typifies many of the volunteer surgeons who join the Lifeline Express, taking time off from big city hospitals or private practices to work with the Corps for free, and this is his 10th year.
When I perform surgical intervention, I perform to my utmost ability as if I am operating in a private case. But here, the question is to give best to those people who can't afford. Whatever I am doing is God's will. He knows that I have given knife to Dr. Agarwal to help the people. And I am very God-fearing. Every time I feel somebody is watching. If I do something wrong, don't think that nobody is watching.
Over the next 3 days, Sapna and 19 more polio patients were operated on by Dr. Agarwal and his skeleton team. It may take some time before their plaster casts are removed permanently, and only then will they find out whether their operations have been successful and whether they'll ever walk normally again. As the project reaches its halfway point, the Gujar demonstrations are still causing disruption.
The surgeons coming from Lucknow and the anesthetists we are trying to get from Madhya Pradesh only, either from Bhopal or Indore or the medical college. So that effort is on. Only thing we realized yesterday, they will not be able to make it. So we are
Colonel Vishwan faces the problem of how to get his polio surgeons home and to get the plastic surgeons to the Lifeline train. All planes are full and the alternative alternative routes are overbooked. Kilometers north of Mansour town, on the edge of Sabakeda village, lives a small community at the bottom of the economic ladder. Deeply religious, illiterate and dirt poor, they live a hand-to-mouth existence. Mohan Lal's family were delighted when their first baby, the boy Shiva, was born to them. But all was not well. Shiva was born with a cleft lip.
शिवा होने के बाद ही मेरे थोड़ा घर में कुछ ये इसकी माँ के होया ने जब दिन का ही सही है तो डॉक्टर ये तो अभी ये होता ही पहले वो भी 2.5 किलो का लड़का हो गया डॉक्टर भी देखने लगे तेरी माँ का ये लड़का नहीं है ये कोई ऐसे देवत की भूल गई है
अगर मतलब ऑपरेशन कराओ 10-12 हजार 25 हजार रुपए मांगेंगे कहाँ से ला कर दियो
तेरी वो क्या कर सकता अच्छा होता
अपन पास ये कुछ है भी नहीं खेती बाड़ी बेच दे करा ले कहा है नहीं कहाँ बेचे अपन ऐसे ऑपरेशन नहीं कराए तो कोई शादी भी नहीं करे हमारे जात में
For Shiva's family, news of the Lifeline Express has given them hope of an operation to rectify the cleft lip. So, having successfully passed a local screening at their primary health centre, the whole family heads for Mansour station and the Lifeline train. There are no guarantees he'll get his operation, but they believe that Shiva is a god, and that he is blessed, and that the doctors on the train will change his life forever. At Sanskar Gardens, the lip screenings have started. Dr. Faisal is one of the 3 plastic surgeons who have finally made it to Mansour after a circuitous 36-hour train journey. With only a few hours sleep, he now has to screen hundreds of would-be patients for corrective lip surgery, and Shiva is in the first batch who are waiting to see him. For Shiva, corrective surgery on his lip would be completely unthinkable had it not been for the Lifeline train. Yet some Indians believe that such surgery is undesirable because the body you are blessed with is the gift of God.
अब इनके खून की जांच कराएंगे, ठीक है? खून की जांच कराने के बाद इनको भर्ती करेंगे, ठीक है? उसके बाद कोट का और जो दांत में जो गड्ढा सा है, इसका ऑपरेशन करके ठीक हो जाएगा.
Amongst the peoples of India, religious beliefs and observances are central to life. Whether Hindu or Buddhist, Sikh or Muslim, all believe that life is sacred, and its strictest adherents are the Jains. Nimbod is an old established village in the south of the district and home to a large community of Jains. They believe that all life, no matter how small, is worthy of respect. Orthodox followers wear a mask so they will not swallow any living creature or insect. 11-year-old Vishal comes from a typical Jain family who have lived in this village for generations. Vishal was also born with a cleft lip, but it never used to bother him.
जैसे जैसे बढ़ता गया तो फिर लगने लगा उसका हाँ
अभी का चेहरा बहुत थोड़ा सा भद्दा लगता है। उसके बाद ऑपरेशन होने के बाद उसका चेहरा अच्छा लगेगा। बहुत से दोस्त उसको थोड़ा बहुत बोलते हैं, कटु शब्द बोल देते कि तेरे ऐसे हो रहा है ऐसा होता, तो थोड़ा उसको दिल को ठेस पहुंचती है।
स्कूल में कभी बोला होगा तो उसने कोई बात ही नहीं करी मेरे को आके कि मम्मी ऐसा बोलते हैं बच्चे।
ऐसा बोलते हैं मेरे को अच्छा नहीं लगता नहीं फिर वोट करता अगर अपन के साथ मजाक करते तो उसके दिल में ठेस पहुंचती है। हाँ मैंने कभी भी किसी को भी ठेस नहीं पहुंचा। तब ऐसे बातें बातें हम लड़ी हो जाती है ना फिर दोस्त हो जाते हैं।
Tomorrow, Vishal and his father will travel to Mansoor, hoping to get an operation on his cleft lip.
मैं बहुत चाहता हूँ कि ऑपरेशन कराने के लिए जाऊँ, जिसमें वो ठीक हो सकता है। मेरी नई जिंदगी बहुत शुरू होगी और स्कूल में सब कोई भी नहीं चिढ़ाएगा।
Despite the Gujar troubles and all the train cancellations, so far the project has completed 99 surgeries. And with the Colonel's emergency planning, nearly all the medical volunteers eventually arrived. So today is the first day of the cleft lip surgeries for Dr. Faisal and his team.
I've been on the Lifeline in previous 2 projects, and I love to come here. Every time Colonel Saab calls us, I'm the first one to volunteer, and I'm always enthusiastic to come here and do some work.
But that work is suddenly interrupted by a new crisis. At Mansoor District Hospital, the entire staff have gone on strike because somebody hit a doctor. The police have moved in with riot gear as such incidents can easily escalate, and until the crowd disperses, the hospital is closed. But at Sanskar Gardens, the clock is ticking away at the surgeon's time, so the screenings must continue. Vishal's operation has been approved, along with baby Shiva. But with no medical staff willing to work until the demonstrators have been dispersed, even the ambulance has been locked in, and now the Lifeline patients are stranded.
The ambulance which was coming from the hospital was supposed to bring the patients from the transit camp to the train, and that is really making us a bit problematic.
A couple of hours later, the hospital protest is over, so Vishal and Shiva can be delivered to the operating theatre on the Lifeline Express. Finally, Dr. Faisal and some of the best plastic surgeons in India can use their expertise and work their magic. Each surgery may take anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes if everything were alright, and for Shiva's father, it's an anxious wait.
If there is any inadequate muscle repair, it's going to give a very unhealthy scar, and the child might not get another chance to get a revision run, right? And if the muscle repair is right, the pieces of the two parts of the lip will automatically fall in the normal positions. It's like a jigsaw.
क्या नाम बताया था?
विशाल।
विशाल एक सुई लगेगी. There is muscle suppression inside.
Baby Shiva is brought to his father. It's 10 o'clock and he is already the 6th operation of the morning. And Vishal is out of surgery too. All today's patients have been transformed by the Lifeline experience, and so too have the volunteer doctors.
It's very difficult. But it's good. It's always worthwhile. Small children used to bring paintings and drawings for me when they were operated and all. And the love and affection that you get from such kind of patients is just fantastic. I mean, I cannot express that in words.
After 48 hours, baby Shiva and Vishal Jain have their scars examined, their plasters changed, and if Dr. Faisal approves, they can go home. For baby Shiva and his family, it wasn't just Dr. Faisal who made Shiva well, it was their God. So the family is making a pilgrimage to a holy shrine to offer their prayers for Shiva's salvation.
Religious? Yes, I am religious.
Everyone.
Yes, everybody is religious. I'm praying God.
Vishal Jain will suffer no more jibes at school, his self-confidence will grow, and his faith has been strengthened. In an isolated area of the countryside, Shiva and the family have begun their observances at the holy shrine. A local shaman has been engaged to conduct the ceremony. Shiva's family believe that his operation was only possible by divine intervention and that he really is a god. Tonight, by offering up their thanks, they pray the gods will bless his life forever. For the trained staff, it's been 3 weeks of continual operations. In the last 4 days alone, the plastic surgeons have completed over 50 lip operations. Now the plan is that they leave in the morning and the eye surgeons should be arriving by train from Delhi. God willing. Tonight in Sabakeda village, 73-year-old Mangunath and his wife Gadri Bai are celebrating. They're almost blind with cataracts. They're penniless with no possessions, no home, no children, and they rely on an extended family to support them. But tonight, they're happy. They've both got doctor's letters for an eye operation on the Lifeline Express.
कम पढ़ता अभी कम होने वाला होगा दादा ने थी बैठा हुए काले नजरे आता काला या इनके सपने में हुए इन एक आँख में थोड़ा फूटता है ये थी लंबा अंधारा घोर नजर आता ये घने साल में थोड़ी 12 महीना कम पढ़ता अब थोड़ा ज्यादा हो गया हूँ।
At Sanskar Gardens, the response to the Lifeline Express is almost overwhelming. Thousands have turned up for the eye screenings with every kind of eye problem, from children with squints to the totally blind. For Mangu and his wife, this is probably their last opportunity for eye treatment. They are old and confused, but with a little help they make their way through the screening process. Without an operation, Mangu and Gadribai face a future where they can't possibly work and will have to depend on charity alone. Outside, the crowd has grown so large that it threatens to overwhelm the volunteers and security, and the police have to be called in to keep order. The main line between Mumbai and Delhi is still blocked, and the Gujar protests have now spread to Mysore. Now the Colonel is having to find ever more inventive routes to bypass the blockade and to make sure the doctors get here on time. A few of the eye surgeons have made it from Delhi, but there's still no sign of any anaesthetists. Heading the team is Dr. Zia.
I'm a practicing strabismologist in Neuro-ophthalmology. Strabismologist is a squint specialist. That's my area of specialization and training. And after the age of 40, this is for senile cataract. After the age of 40, they start getting opaque. So that is what we basically call a cataract. I mean, something that comes in your way. Cataract meaning waterfall in Latin, cataracta, from the waterfall, something white that comes in front of the eye, waterfall in front of the eye. So that's what it means.
Cataracts are the world's leading cause of blindness. Some estimates are that almost 20 million Indians suffer from it, but it is curable. So Dr. Zia and her 2 senior surgeons are getting on with as many of the cataract screenings as possible without a full team. They're hoping that medical support will arrive tomorrow in time for the surgeries. Mangu and Gadribai are here to get their blood pressure checked and for their final pre-op examination by Dr. Zia. As the head of the team, only she can decide if they'll get their operations or not.
physical care. He's quite fit.
Gadribai is through, but Mangu's tests show he has high blood pressure and Dr. Zia is worried it might cause complications if she were to operate.
It was 140/100 in the morning. So I did given a whole host of investigations. A lot of physicians this thing. Yeah. No, I do understand. No, it's alright. You take the decision that's best for him. Yeah, best for his life, best for his life.
Mangu's operation is off, and Dr. Zia is growing increasingly concerned that if the anaesthetists don't get here soon, there will be no eye operations at all. As tensions begin to mount on the train, there's more bad news for the Colonel. Faced with a long and uncertain train journey from Delhi, the anaesthetists have pulled out. So the situation on the train has gone critical. Without them, Dr. Zia cannot operate. Luckily, the Colonel has persuaded an old friend, Dr. Tripathi, a semi-retired anaesthetist from Mansoor, to step in. But the problem is, he can only work part-time.
From 8 to 2. Yeah, the sisters can be there. 8 to 2, we can be there from 8. 8 to 2, then we'll operate. हम 2 बजे तक ही ऑपरेट करेंगे.
उसके बाद आपका जो भी कुछ है और जो भी कुछ दूसरा एग्जामिनेशन होगा जनरल के देगा सर. आप दे सकते हैं. नहीं कैसे दे सकता. मेरे देखो जो कॉल आते हैं सीजरियन वगैरह के, तो मैं तो ये इनके आयोग के लिए मैं यहाँ सीजरियन छोड़ के तो नहीं बैठ सकता. वो तो 2 प्राणियों का वो रखता है उसमें.
नहीं ऐसा है कि हम ये हमारे और से आप इनसे बात कर लीजिए. हम एनेस्थेटिस्ट के बिना नहीं करेंगे. I'm not into this obviously. No, I'm not into this. It's not eye or cesarean or बच्चा. It's a camp. It's a national level. It's got to be done properly. We cannot do it without anesthetic cover. It's for them to discuss. You discuss this out with them. It's not our this thing. हमारे साथ तो बात है ही नहीं. हम इसके बात नहीं करेंगे.
जरूरत नहीं है.
I'm not interpreting it.
मैं सिर्फ
I don't want to talk any further.
समझे ना. रिटायर्ड होता
Talk it over with them.
नहीं आता. आप करो.
Just talk it over with them.
चलो बाय.
Absolutely.
ऑपरेशन तब अच्छी नहीं होती है, तो वो ऑपरेशन नहीं किया, शीशी नहीं दी थी या कौन दवा मुझे नाकी दो हुजन वादे वारे दवा टीका नाकी दो. ऑपरेशन तब अच्छी नहीं होती है.
Even with the blockade on the main line from Delhi, local train services through Mansoor are still unaffected. The Lifeline project is in its last week. The Gujars are in talks with the government and there is hope of a settlement soon. But on platform number 2, the Lifeline Express is faced with abandoning the cataract surgeries unless the Colonel can find more anaesthetists and negotiate a truce between Dr. Zia and Dr. Tripathi. Tonight, the first of the monsoon rains brings some relief from the intense heat. Gadribai will have her operation in the morning, but if Mangu loses his sight, then she will have to become the breadwinner. this dignified old man, it's a harsh reality to face.
ऐसे न के ऐसे कि हमारी जिंदगी तेर होगी तो अच्छा आमदनी जो माता रो तो मर जानो वो हो एक नाम ले जाए दुख नहीं लगता है सुख तो पाए कि मर गया बस
They are stuck and there are some who are coming from Delhi, but hopefully I think they should reach. The presence of the anesthetists is absolute must. It's very must.
After a busy night of phone calls, the Colonel's determined efforts have paid off. Dr. Zia and Dr. Tripathi have reached an accord, and 2 more anesthetists have been secured. So tomorrow, the eye surgeries can begin. Gadri Bai had pleaded for her operation to be given to Mangu, but she was told it wasn't safe for him. So her operation is next on the list. Dr. Zia has had to scale down the number of operations to 150 because she still doesn't have a full team. Nevertheless, this is her first day of surgery, so she's happy again. Under local anesthetic and using state-of-the-art surgery, Gadri Bai will get back the vision in one of her eyes. But she also knows her husband will slowly go blind.
Helpless people, who have come with expectations, something is promised to them. It doesn't really matter to them, what we think or what we do. What matters to them is that they have a problem. And they have come here with hope. God knows they suffer a lot.
Gadri Bai's operation was successful, and in a few weeks' time she'll be able to see clearly enough to work again. Over the last month, the Lifeline Express has performed its minor miracles. Thanks to the volunteer surgeons, doctors and nurses, thousands more lives have been touched by the magic train. In 4 days, the plastic surgeons performed more than 55 cleft-lipped surgeries. Vishal's scar is healing well, and Dr. Faisal even got to operate on a god. Dasrat was just one of 80 ear surgeries on the train, and thanks to the operation he can hear better, and now he's doing really well at school. Dr. Agarwal and his team performed 19 polio surgeries, including Sapna's operation. Now she's out of plaster, but it will be months before she'll be able to walk without the aid of a crutch. Dr. Zia and her team eventually operated on 148 cataract patients. Gadri Bai was lucky, but Mangu was not. Despite all the problems, the Lifeline Express managed to screen thousands of people and performed over 300 operations which have changed people's lives. Now Gadri Bai has decided it would be best if she and Mangu move back to the village where they were born, to their native place. And the The Lifeline Express is also moving on to its next mission, 1,000 miles away from Mansour, but where the people share the same hopes and the same dreams of a cure.
The train has become the symbol of a miracle, a hope. And when it goes away, we've had people sleeping, lying on the sleepers. Won't let the train go away. Don't go away. We've got my mother is sick, my father is sick. They don't know what to do. This train is blessed. Somebody is up there watching us, telling us what to do.